You'd Better Watch Out, by the inspector. The following footage was recovered from a bloodstained GoPro camera left in the snow near a cabin on Burke Mountain in Vermont. Video opens on a stretch of snowy mountainside. The sky is cloudless and the sun glares off the camera lens. A thin woman in a green ski suit stands astride a set of skis, each striped white and red like a candy cane. She wears thick gloves and a pair of goggles. Strands of dyed red hair float free from beneath her wooden cap. "Looking good, Holly." "Likewise, babe." "This lovely vision you see here before you is Holly Pendle, my beautiful new wife and longtime co-star here on Deck the Halls. I'm Chris Pendle, and we're here to show you the snowy slopes of Vermont's classic Berkeley Mountain." "It's Burke Mountain, babe." "Shit, what did I say?" "You said Berkeley." "Ah, fuck. Do you want to do another take or just fix that in editing?" "I want to go skiing. Let's just film this stupid intro later, okay?" "No complaints here." Holly leans forward and begins to ski down the slope. Chris follows after her. Snow whips in the screen as their skis slice through the layer of white. The camera picks up an expanse of snowy pine trees and a stretch of distant mountain crisscrossed with ski trails. Chris lets out a whoop as he glides left and right along the slope, imitating the path of Holly up ahead. "This is the life." "You're such a dork." Oof. A man barrels suddenly out of the tree line and crashes into her, sending both of them tumbling into a flurry of limbs and skis. Holly cries out as her ski pole slices against the side of her leg and draws blood. Chris comes to a clumsy halt and shuffles over to the pair on his skis. "Shit, you okay? What happened?" "I'll be fine." "Why don't you watch where you're going, arsehole?" The man untangles himself and gets hastily to his feet. He wears a black jumpsuit with a woolen black ski cap, each emblazoned with the name Rosen in red letters. His eyes are wide and he holds an arm to his chest as if it's broken. "You've got to get out of here. We fucked up, we lost control of it, it's coming for us." "What are you talking about?" "It was just a joke, man. The guys at the base didn't think it would actually work. It was supposed to be..." A deep off-screen bellow cuts him off. The camera whirls around to capture a rustling in the trees, sending snow flying in all directions. Heavy crunching footsteps sound out from within the forest. "Oh fuck, he's here." Chris turns around to see Rosen stumbling back into the tree line, his black jumpsuit standing out against the snow, before he gets too far in and vanishes. Holly is on her feet examining the wound on her leg. She freezes when another bellow shakes the snow on the nearby trees. "What the hell is that?" "I don't know." The camera turns again, catching a large figure crashing between the trees. It's tall, about 7 feet high, and it appears to be wearing a red jacket with ratty tufts of cotton glued to the sleeves and neck. The lower half of its body seems to be made entirely of snow. Tufts of thick brown fur poke through holes in its jacket, and the white gloves it wears on its clawed hands. Little silver bells dangle from its sleeves. An enormous white beard stained with blood hangs from the base of its humanoid face. Its nose and eyes glow a bright shade of red, and a series of tangled antlers sprout from the top of its head. "What the hell is that? Shit. Oh shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here." He helps Holly gather up her ski poles and urges her down the mountain. They begin to ski down the uneven slopes, but Holly's movements are wobbly, and the cut on her leg leaves behind droplets of red in the snow. A third bellow nearly makes Chris trip over his own skis. "I can't do this for much longer, babe. Look for a side trail then. Maybe there's a cabin or somewhere where we can hide." "There." The camera picks up an opening in the tree line. The path inside is trodden with footprints. A wooden sign, not slightly askew, reads, "Restricted area. Trespassers will be prosecuted." "But it says restricted. Are you fucking joking right now?" She glides down the slope and veers left onto the side trail. Snow flies into the camera as Chris brakes sharply and follows her. They ski between the tree for a few minutes before a low structure rises up out of the landscape before them. A one-story cabin with closed shutters and icicles dangling from the rim of the porch. porch. Thank God. Help! Somebody help! Holly? She ignores him, ripping off her skis and flinging them into the snow. She hobbles up the front steps, still shouting, and knocks on the front door in a frenzy. Her leg is bleeding more profusely now. Chris pulls off his own skis and hurries up to join her. Holly, look. He points to a series of slash marks in the frame of the door. She lowers her hand and the door, no longer pushed forward by the force of her pounding, opens up just a crack. Holly looks nervously at the camera. She pulls the door open all the way and takes a tentative step into the first room. Hello? Is anybody here? We should get out of here. He points to a spot on the far wall next to a painting of lush green mountainside. Blood is splattered all along the wood and sprayed in stains across the curtains. Chunky globes of viscera lie in puddles on the carpet. Holly inches forward to peer into the next room. Whatever she sees there makes her leave. She vomits onto the floor, holding a hand against the wall to steady herself. Don't come over here. I mean, fuck, I wasn't planning to. There's not much left of them, but I think they're wearing this same outfit as that guy who ran into me. Is this where that thing came from? Probably. We should leave. What if it comes back? Hang on. She places a hand over her mouth and limps into the next room. The camera picks up the sound of her squelching footsteps, and when she re-emerges, she's holding a blood-soaked shotgun, still covered with flecks of viscera. She wipes it clean with her sleeve and cocks the barrel to check for ammunition. It's loaded. Just a couple of bullets missing. They must have not been able to get in a good shot before it killed them. What the fuck, Holly? Have you ever even used a gun before? Holly shoots him a scathing look. Babe, I grew up in Vermont. My grandpa would take me hunting with him all the time. When I was 12, I shot a deer clean between the eyes from 20 yards away. I think I can hit a fucking monster the size of a truck. We shouldn't be fighting, we should be running. I'm not going to get far in this, and if we don't stop this thing, it's going to keep stalking the mountain and killing people. We've got a chance here, and maybe you don't want to take it, but I do. Holly, a throat roar interrupts him. The camera whirls to see the lumbering entity stepping into the clearing, breathing like a heavy animal, the bells on its sleeves jingling slightly with each breath. Outside, a light snow is starting to fall from the now clouded sky. The flakes swirl around the figure like a protective white shield. Holly steps out onto the porch, shotgun raised, and Chris hurries after her. I'm not letting this Christmas freak ruin our vacation. Holly, no! Holly limps into the snow, leaving a trail of blood behind her. She lifts the shotgun and fires it at the approaching figure. A chunk of its shoulder explodes, spraying green viscera across the trees, and it bellows like a wounded animal. It lowers its head and charges at Holly. She tries to stagger back, but its antlers pierce her in the chest and drive her back against the cabin. She lets out a cry of agony and drops the shotgun. Naughty. It releases her as she slumps onto the ground, bleeding profusely into the snow. The entity reaches out with its gloved hands and grabs the top of her head. Then it yanks upwards. Holly's head snaps off in one clean motion, blood gushing from the stump. Her headless body slumps against the cabin and goes still. The entity stands there with its head in its clawed hands, the wind jingling the bells on its sleeve. Oh God. Oh fuck. Fuck. The entity turns to him and blinks its glowing red eyes. It takes a lumbering step towards him. Chris scrambles backwards and trips, landing flat on his back. He whimpers as the entity draws closer, its fleecing beard stained with copious amounts of blood. Its lips are curled up in an approximation of a smile, and then it reaches down and places Holly's lifeless head in his lap. Nice. He picks up Holly's severed head and chucks it at the entity. Her head strikes it in the gory green mess of its shoulder, and it roars with pain. Its smile wraps into an unmistakable frown, filed teeth bared. Its eyes flash a warning shade of red.
Naughty.
It slashes out with its claws and swipes the GoPro clean from Chris's chest. The camera flips through the air and comes to rest in a pile of snow, where it catches a sideways view of Chris writhing on the ground, blood spurting from a series of gashes in his chest. The entity continues to slice at Chris's torso, bells jingling, sending sprays of red across the snow in every direction. He convulses and screams with each new slash. Snowflakes drift past the camera lens and slowly obscure the scene. The video ends on a grey screen, with no sound except the burbling of fresh blood and a low, wet crunching. Chris and Holly Pendle, co-hosts of the indie Christmas vlog Deck the Halls, were reported missing shortly after their scheduled ski trip to Burke Mountain. Although the previous footage was recovered at the scene, there was no sign of the Pendles' bodies, other than a copious amount of bloodstains in the snow. The man in the Rosen uniform could not be located for further comment. The whereabouts of the strange being in the video, as well as the missing Pendles, remains a mystery.